Yo, what up guys, Mysterious here, and we're back with a new video, and today we're going to be reviewing one of the, if not the best Syndra in the world, and that guy is Knight. So I actually watched a lot of his pro views, and especially when he was playing Syndra, and the main thing that I realized what made him such a good Syndra was his ability usage in lane, but also his E usage outside of lane. It's very solid, and he makes very little mistakes, and that's also something that we will see in this lane, is how good his ability usage is and how that leads to him absolutely dominating lanes, even with the first strike setup. So we're playing as a Syndra into a melee champion. What do we want to do? We want to go for a 3-stack ideally, and every single time that the enemy tries to take a CS, we can then punish with a Q, and preferably Q out attack. This Talon opted in for Doran shield, so he's gonna be pretty tough to wear down in this lane. We place a nice little ward between wave 2 and 3. Beautiful ability usage right here. That's very impressive. Let's actually take a look at this. He recognizes Talon wants to go for the farm, throws a beautiful QW, thins out the wave with it as well. He wants to ideally crash this wave. Another beautiful Q, and his positioning up in the lane is really, really good. And that's something that I recognized when I watched this guy play, is his positioning is, it's actually, his spacing is perfect. The amount of distance that he takes from his enemies is such that they cannot really trade onto him, but that he's able to always contest every single CS. And the way he plays around his passive stacks this lane as well, it's unbelievable. We spot Kinnert on top side, so that means that we gotta be a little bit careful. Kinnert is shown on the ward right now. He's still posturing very, very aggressively, but the beautiful thing right here is that he still keeps his E just until Talon actually jumps in. So this was beautiful, and he pushes him out right here, and now he spots the Kinnert on that second ward, so he can just hover bot side a bit further, and he respects beautifully. He stays in XP range. Kinnert comes by, doesn't go for the gank, and even though he does, we now have our E ability up, so the gank does not succeed. Kinnert's being pretty annoying, but it's still okay. We miss a few creeps, but it's not the end of the world because these guys are also sharing XP. So beautiful positioning right here. Understood when he could be aggressive and punish Talon for it, but when he couldn't be, he was playing pretty far back, which was also perfect. So slightly missed his Q right here, but it was still okay. Wave is in a pretty awkward position right now, but we're poking the Talon pretty well. We got 2 biscuits. It seems that Knight prefers biscuits on Syndra. That's completely fine. We get ganked again. Pretty unfortunate wave state for us, but Talon actually decides to shove. So what we want to do right now is we want to chill out a little bit and reset on that Lost Chapter gold. It's exactly what we do. We got this perfect reset on Lost Chapter, which he doesn't go for. He actually, wow, that's so interesting. I would have definitely went for Lost Chapter. Wait, this might actually be in the time where Lost Chapter was 1300 gold. I'm not sure. Let's take a look. That's some bad preparation on my part. Yes, Lost Chapter 1300 gold. Otherwise, this would have been a perfect reset, but he doesn't have the gold for it right now. And he actually opts in for boots right here. He clears the wave. He shoves the next one. Maybe you could have actually held this one. I'm not sure if Talon has TP or not, but that might have incentivized Talon to go for the roam. It might be that his thought process was, okay, I just want to perma shove so Talon cannot roam and get free kills. It's definitely a fair thought process. So we're actually in a pretty good state in the lane right here. We've gotten a lot of stacks. We're level 6 and we got 35 stacks. That means that on level up, we're not even close to level 7 by the way, that we're already going to reach our Q upgrade, and that's going to be massively increasing our trading power right here. So the way he got these stacks in the lane, it's really, really beautiful. So we got to be a bit careful right now. We have a ward coming out in 15 seconds. And we do want to be shoving right here. So the main way that Knight is actually getting these stacks is he's using his W and his Q to get these stacks, and he's not really using his E to get these stacks. So it's kind of fascinating how he's doing that. Sadly misses his E. Wasn't really a good timing to throw his E in my opinion, because right now we kind of want to get a ward out. And now we don't have E, so if Kindred is in this bush, we know Kindred is bot right now, right? But give or take, Kindred was not shown on the map right now. That means that we couldn't have walked in here because we were too vulnerable without E and without a ward. So he's really spot on with this W usage right here. He's landing every single W. Max range, he's doing awesome. Of course, keeping the push right here into Talon. And we're going to be trying to get a bit more first strike stacks here under the tower. And we're almost closing into level 7, which would give us our passive upgrade, which is massive. Beautiful max range Q right here. And even though that this guy has D-shield, the poke does slowly start to stick. Beautiful W right here. Why is this such a good W? He holds it, right? He knows that Talon wants to go for all these creeps, and he holds it just before Talon walks up to actually CS this creep. And then Talon actually Qs us instead of one of these creeps. So he goes for the trade, gets the passive stack. He ults with 4 balls and he gets the upgrade, but he does not get the kill. So I think he made a slight mistake here. So what he could have done, right, is we got 4 balls right now. And we also have a Q that we just use on the Talon. So I think if he takes it a bit slower, so instead of Q ulting instantly, right? If he just Qs, walks after Talon, waits for 4 seconds, then ults, then E's, then we can actually get this final Q off whenever the Talon is still stunned. So I think he kind of rushed his E and his ult right here. And if he waited like 2 more seconds, we could have now cast our Q and would have actually gotten a kill. So slight optimization. But the idea behind the play was really, really, really solid. So we get ganked, but we also get some support from our team. We do some beautiful spacing right here onto the Kindred. We get a kill. Game is looking very, very solid. We get Lost Chapter and Blasting Wand. And right now we can actually start taking over the lane. And it's very simple what we're going to do right now. What we're going to do right now is we're going to be looking for Q, E, W, Q. With first strike. We're going to be trading around our first strike right now. We got our passive stacks. And if we trade around with first strike, we're going to get like 40 gold on every single combination that we hit. So it's very, very, very good to use our range advantage to slowly start chipping away at the HP bar of Talon. Pretty dangerous E right here because we don't know where Kindred is. And also we got no wards. But he actually got, and the wave is far up in the lane. So very dangerous E, but he gets away with it, he lands it, gets beautiful poke off onto the Talon. And most of our abilities are now just going to go onto the Talon. We don't really want to be using too much on the wave right now. Of course, a Q is possible here or there. We're still trying to get these stacks. We miss some abilities, of course, as well. It's also part of the game. And we get a gank by Lee Sin, beautiful stuff. Talon gets out because he's Talon, of course. Let's actually take a look. Very nice ability usage. So what I love that he does here, he takes it slow and he does not use his E. And I think that's beautiful because he can always E after his ult right here and get the guaranteed stun off if it's necessary. But right now, even if an enemy bot laner would be coming right here, he could always shove them away with his E because he still got it up. So this is amazing ability usage. Really shows a deep understanding of Syndra as a champion. Goes for a nice little reset, gets Sorks, DMing some people in the meantime. You know, that's what we all do in little states, don't we? So, comes back to lane. And in my opinion, it's like rinse, repeat. Let's keep looking for these first strike trades. Talon's been dodging out on a lot of our abilities. I think our ability usage could be a bit cleaner and a bit more patience. And it would have definitely been paying off. Of course, ganking Talon isn't the easiest thing. But Blitz lands his hook and we're actually in an amazing position. We get the plates. We get the Herald. And we also snowball top lane. So game is in an amazing position right now. And pretty much straightforward. Same stuff. We can now just take control by looking for these QEWs with another Q. Stack our first strike up. 20 gold with a combo. Beautiful bait onto Talon. Wow, that was such a nasty bait. That was a really nasty bait. Well done. Okay. That was surprisingly good. So we have our mythic gold right now. We want to be resetting real soon. We shot this wave. We get a beautiful reset onto our Ludens. And pretty much rinse repeat, right? We do some DMing and we look for a combo. We land a nice max range. WQ, half HP gone. And how much gold do we get from first strike? 30, 34, beautiful stuff. And from this point onward, the game is not really losable, in my opinion. As long as we don't do stupid shit. We're a champion that accelerates so hard once we get a lead, right? Because our damage really increases, our rune really allows us to scale up even faster, even harder. And we're also just a champion that uses that rune so unbelievably well with our long range, with our E. And the only thing that we need to do now is just keep making sure that we make these picks. He flashes forward with an E, very dangerous play, flashing forward, especially for a town like that. I wouldn't have done it. But it's solo queue, so it makes sense. We place the Herald mid and we get the tower. And from this point onward, it's basically game over. The enemies cannot really come back. We're getting 2 out of hand as a Syndra. And what was now the beauty of this game and the beauty of his lane is that he actually was able to pressure the Talon. He was dominating lane, especially early game. In the mid to late lane, it got a bit more iffy because Talon started playing better and we got a bit sloppy with our ability usage. But in the early lane especially, like his aggressive posturing, not being afraid to look for these auto attacks, not being afraid to look for these trades, slowly chipping away at Talon's HP bar, and especially the passive splinter stacking using our W and our Q, it was really amazing. While also soaking enemy pressure from especially enemy jungle, but also enemy support. And this allowed our team to also win in the side lanes. And especially like if we take a look at this ability usage right here, it's just gorgeous. And if we can do this over and over and over again, while also scaling up with the first strike page, we are going to be dominating lanes. So if you guys want to take a look at good ability usage and try to replicate it in your own games, definitely recommend giving this video another watch, especially take a look at the early lane of how Knight does it, because this is just a perfect example of ability usage, how to get it consistently and how to win lanes even with a first strike setup. So I thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed and I see you guys real soon with another video.